Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, Effie Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Names Burley, Twad Wazzle, Jason Hornsby, Flat Earth Travolta, J Mel's 24, Yu Namento, Iron 26, Endless, Golden McKinnon, Retro Bill, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Mac 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Young Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand across to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Help me make sense of why that is and how we can, how I'm supposed to make sense of a flat-shaped model versus the one that we're obviously taught in school.
Yeah, you know, we have a model, if you will.
Do we? We? Dave? You do. You flog it on your app, you shyster. We do not. Models are pseudoscience, you bleeding shyster. Meanwhile, that guy said the word model about 16 times. Prior to that, in the intro, there was no mention of model. Meanwhile, the guy on the Globe Earth side didn't put his position, gave a resume statement. That's what we actually had up until this point.
Well, but we realize that there's a lot that we don't understand. The globe doesn't have a model at all. The globe is the globe model, if you will, defies natural law. It has air uncontained.
Is this a fucking laugh? Is this just a joke? Is Dave here to make us look like spastics? The globe doesn't have a model. In the globe model, in the next breath, what is he babbling about? This man's here to make us look like retards, isn't he?
Doesn't have a model at all.
So it doesn't have a model at all. Okay, no model. So there'll be no mention of any globe model then, moving forward from this point then.
The globe is the globe model, if you will.
What, the one that doesn't exist, Dave? Are you here to make us look like retards or what? You've just told the audience there is no globe model. In the next breath, you start talking about it. Has this guy got dementia? Is he nuts? Does he need committing? Fuck off from Flat Earth, Dave. You unbelievable spastic. What the fuck are you even doing here? Making us all look like complete twats.
Defies natural law. It has air uncontained next to a space vacuum.
But the model that doesn't exist has air next to a space vacuum, does it? I thought it didn't exist.
It has gravity, which is unproven.
And doesn't exist. Right, so we've got a non-existent model with non-existent gravity not existing within it, have we, Dave? This is the stupidest opener I've ever heard from him.
Which defy electrostatics, which is proven.
So defy electrostatics? All right, shilling for ether much are you fucking retard? I'm sick of this shit. Electrostatics, what are they? Why are they coming into the subject? Why aren't you talking about Earth? Why are we talking about the non-existent existent globe model with its non-existent existent gravity that you brought into the discussion? Why?
Which is 10 to the 36 power stronger. We can go through all the different points and show you how, yeah, one of them is totally wrong, and one of them, we're certainly figuring it out.
Dave's here to offer up a false dichotomy. That's his shill position in this flat earth that we call our community. He is here to keep the false dichotomy alive. So it's your model versus our model. And not only will he do that, he'll do it in the face of him saying there isn't one. So we all look like complete idiots while he keeps the false dichotomy alive. There's no need for a false dichotomy. Their so-called model that Dave says doesn't exist is based on the measurements of a flat earth. And our flat earth is just Earth being measured. So there's no false dichotomy here. There's only one position of Earth measurement, and that's flat. That's it. We don't need Dave anymore. This dickhead is only here to bleed money out of us for his app. Fuck off, you shyster.
But we'll go over each one of those things.
What, the false dichotomy positions with one model that doesn't exist versus the other model that doesn't need justifying? It's a measurement.
And then let the listener come to their own conclusion.
They don't need you for that. Earth's measured flat. Can do it in one sentence. That fact will never, ever be violated by anybody ever. You don't need Dave. He's just here to flog you an app. He's a shyster. That's all he is.
The thing I always say is don't believe anything that Angel and I say. Don't believe anything.
Well, then fuck off, you stupid retard. Don't believe anything you say. That's because you've got plenty of shit to offer about electrostatics for people to believe in, haven't you, Dave? So like any good shyster, you're going to tell people, you don't have to trust me. While you engage in your confidence trickstery and your scammery and your shystery. That's what you're doing. It's fucking obvious. This man's a con man. That's all he is. He's here to bleed you dry for money for his app that's on screen the entire time. His motivation is without question. Right? That's all Dave's here for. This. That's his motivation. If he was actually motivated by telling you about Earth's flat, he'd just say it. He wouldn't tell you about the false dichotomy that doesn't really exist. He definitely wouldn't do that. But Dave's not here for that. That's not Dave's purpose. He's here to flog you this.
I'll verify everything. We're gonna
don't have to verify it. We measure it flat.
Show you stuff that you never thought of. We're gonna
really. Will it require any belief that you've just told us that you don't need to exercise in your case?
Show you stuff that you were programmed not to believe.
Oh, really? So we're going to be going straight into beliefs then, you fucking shyster? Don't believe you. Let's discuss some beliefs. What con man? What grifter?
And belief is the enemy of knowing. For example, Matthew.
Really? What do we know? You haven't told us anything. We've just got your bleeding app in the background. Knowing that it's flat would take measurements, Dave. That's what I offer here. You offer an app. You offer a false dichotomy. You offer nonsensical dribble like there is no model when talking about the globe model.
The test question, where do I live?
So you think you're smart asking him where you live? Earth's measured flat for anybody watching my show that isn't a wanker that needs Dave to support their belief while he tells you that you don't need to believe him.
It's about it before the show. You can look down.
Yeah, you look how smug he thinks he is. You're a fucking retard, Dave. Do you know that? You're a spastic. You haven't got a fucking clue about this subject. All you've got is the harebrained, nonsensical drivel of a shyster conning people into buying an app.
You wrote it down.
Yeah, Connecticut.
Connecticut. Now, do you believe...
This man has just confessed in his resume statement that he's an expert in thermodynamics. That's what we got from him up until this point. Yeah? Dave's question, opener, where do you live? Not, do you understand what the second law of thermodynamics is? That is to say, gas filling space. Because if he asked him that as an opener, that would be the end of that man's religious belief in a sky vacuum-based area for NASA to travel to, for orbital motion to take place in, and for heliocentric anything to exist ever. But he's not asking that. He's asking the guy where he lives when the guy's confessed to being a thermodynamics expert.
Believe it or do you know it?
Well, I trust that you told me.
So you believe it?
Yes.
You believe it. So you heard me say it. You're like, why would he lie? He sounds like he's from Connecticut. He's got a little bit of a New York accent.
Didn't we just dispense with the idea of believing you, Dave? So we're going to question whether or not you would lie immediately.
That's near, you stored that as truthful information, but you don't know it.
Sorry, why are we now talking about truth versus lies, Dave? Didn't you just disclaim literally only 30 seconds ago that wasn't going to be on the table when it came to you? We wouldn't need to exercise this.
But you believe it, so we...
No, you're just a lying fucking shyster, aren't you, Dave? What you say is the absolute opposite of what you're actually doing, like any good fucking con man. Yeah? Wave one hand over here while you fucking pick their pocket over there.
We believe a lot of things that we've been told.
Really, Dave? Believe? Like you've just told us we won't be exercising? What a shyster. What's he doing in this community? Just fuck off. Get on your stupid boat and piss off, Dave. I don't want you here anymore. You're a fucking con man, and I'm tired of it. Right? I'm going to let it be known. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of people like Jaron, and you've supported him this entire time. And now you're here to peddle shit about electrostatics, like other grifters, Ether Boy and Jaron included. Now I'm fucking tired of it. All of them can fuck off out of this community. I'm sick of them. He's not telling you Earth's measured flat. He's not allowing you to get on with your day. He's just building up to flogging you an app.
All of our life. But to know them, I spoke to a principal and two science teachers the other day. And
who gives a shit? Every time he does this segue nonsense into some bullshit story he's going to waffle on about, I'll tell you Earth's measured flat. So if you're listening to my show, you know damn well about the facts in this matter. Every time he waffles off into La La Land.
I said, what's your number one proof you live on a globe? And they're like, well, I never really thought about it.
Really? You didn't think about it and discuss the beliefs with them about their model that you said didn't exist? Is that what you engaged in with them, Dave? Earth's measured flat, by the way, any of my audience who care to listen.
You know, they just believe it because that's...
Really? Something we wouldn't be discussing, eh? Charlatan, shyster, con man, grifter, only here to flog an app. I thought we'd dispense with that, you lying fucker.
That's what they were told. So I'll toss it back to either one of you guys. Where do you want to go?
Where do they want to go? I mean, you'd have thought you'd have proven your point before you got on to them and their shitty beliefs. No, that's not really what you're here for. Drag this out as long as possible, as long as we get lots of opportunities to flog your app. Right, Dave? Bleeding con man.
I guess we can start off with the first thing that Angel said, that we live on a, I believe you said level topographic plane. Is that correct?
Yeah, you mean deal with something that was made as a statement of absolute fact? Unlike Dave's complete waffle and tripe, you can ignore and dispense with literally all of it. So we can go back to the introductions where Angels of Light said we live on a topographical plane and ignore everything that Dave said. You're useless, Dave. Yeah, you've got no place in this community. You offer nothing. Nothing at all.
Yep.
Okay, that's a good start. So let's define that. So are you saying that the Earth as we know it is not a sphere, correct? And that it is perfectly or relatively perfectly flat for all of its expanse. Is that correct?
He didn't say any of those words. So do you need to create a position that he didn't actually say? Because he didn't say a single one of those words. What he did say, you got him to summarise and he agreed to. Now you're introducing new words that he didn't say, presumably to make your life a little bit easier. You're saying it's not a ball. No, those words didn't cross his lips, did they? So what are you doing?
Level and horizontal.
But did he say Dave? Did he ask for you, Dave, you stupid shyster con man grifter who's flogging an app? Or did he dispense with your total tripe immediately and address someone that isn't fucking you? No, he didn't need you, did he, Dave? Didn't want to talk to you. Didn't have anything for what you put to him. Because you didn't put anything to him, Dave. You were useless. You're a twat. In this community, you're fucking worthless. You're only here to bleed money out of people for an app. That's your only purpose. When it comes to actual discussions, this man will straw man someone who actually had something to say. That was Angels of Light, who got most of his decent information from us, I might add.
Yeah, level horizontal and has topography.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. Well, that wasn't what you just suggested it said. Something about not being ball-shaped. It didn't say any of those words, did he, shithead?
So
you're a straw man burning asshole. He didn't say any of those words. Fair enough. What, not the words that you just suggested he'd said when he didn't say them? Yeah, you're a straw man burning asshole.
Oh, how long? Okay, if that's the case.
So how quickly can you segue back onto the things that you just suggested he said that he didn't say? How quickly can you segue back, right?
Let's just, for the sake of argument's sake.
Let's say, for the sake of argument, the things that he didn't say that you wanted him to say that he's now not said, and reaffirm the things that he did say. Let's segue onto those things. Let's see if I'm right.
That's the case, that it's level, flat, horizontal, whatever you want to...
He said it twice. You confirmed it.
Call it. How far does it extend?
I think I've got to name it Ba Tunde.
Okay, well, that's the thing. Our known region, it would be Antarctica that we're allowed to go to independently. So past the 60th South parallel, there's actually an Antarctic treaty, and you have to get permission to be able to go further than the 60th parallel, which would be encircling the whole Earth.
Okay, I see.
Sorry, Dave, why are you upstaging him? He's got an answer for him that's actually valid. It's decent. But you're pointing at this model, this false dichotomy that you need to burn. He hasn't asked you, Dave. Yeah? So what are you doing? What you're actually doing, because you're a wanker, is upstaging your compadre. Now, if you were doing this to me, I'd be having a fucking word with you. Don't upstage me, you stupid wanker. You had nothing to say. He was talking to me. You think he needed a fucking pointing at this? What's this? Did you make this? Now, this is just some shit that Dave has on his model that he needs to flog you. Yeah? The false dichotomy that doesn't have any bearing on the physical nature of reality in terms of its measurements. It's just some shit he sells you. But he thinks that he's got to be pointing at upstaging his opponent. He's actually having a discussion, answering questions coherently. Unlike Dave, who offered absolutely nothing.
I see the picture there. Okay, so you're saying...
What, you can see what Dave offered? It's almost like you've taken the guy who upstaged the person you were talking to in lieu of what the guy actually said. 60th parallel, right?
saying that Antarctica is the outer border. Would that be the correct?
He didn't say that. Dave pointed at that, though, didn't he? Let's see how Angels of Light deals with this, because he's now got Dave the wanker upstaging him with his version of what he wants to be reality, even though he hasn't said that. Maybe he's been fully indoctrinated into the ether-believing cuckfold that is Dave Weiss and his bunch of cronies, here to keep a false dichotomy alive when Earth's measured flat. Let's see how Angels deals with this. Does he toe the line for Dave?
Correct way to say it? The outer border of
He didn't say that, though.
this known Earth?
He didn't say that.
Yes.
Okay.
Really? How the fuck do you know, Angels of Light? I'll be having a word with this wanker. How the fuck do you know, Angels of Light? Did you check? Did you measure it yourself personally? Yes. I'm going to go with you haven't got the slightest idea, Angels of Light. It's just part of Dave's little shillery that he punts. So you bought fully into his fold then? All right, I'm going to need you to prove that, Angels of Light. And you're going to get shouted at by me if you don't. You absolutely, without question, will not be able to do that. You fucking cuck. So you've completely bent the knee to Dave, have you, Angels of Light? You pathetic, sad twat. Yeah! You're going to need to prove that. Yeah, and I'm going to fucking berate you if you don't.
Okay.
Okay? No, it isn't okay. I take umbrage to some tosser that pretends he knows the extremities of our known existence. We've got maps. A lot of fakery and shillery and deception when it comes to those maps. But apparently Angels knows the limit. It just coincidentally was what he was being upstaged with by his homeboy Dave here.
Well, let me just chime.
Let me just get a sentence out without stuttering as an opener.
Chime in there. Antarctica is the shoreline.
Nobody fucking asked you, Dave. And nobody asked.
That contains our water. Large body.
Oh, is it? Did you check that, bullshitter? Who hasn't actually proven a damn thing yet, and we're into speculation. Do I not need to believe you about this, you complete wanker? What was it you said earlier? We don't need to believe you. I don't believe you, Dave. Maybe you could present some evidence for this shit that I'm now expected to believe? Because you've interrupted to offer something that you would expect me to believe in. I don't believe you. You told me I didn't have to. Now I'm going to call you a fucking liar, you outright charlatan bastard. You told me I didn't have to believe anything from you. Why are you offering this shit for me to believe in then, dickhead?
Bodies of water need containment. Now, does Antarctica... Well,
So therefore Antarctica's the thing containing, is it, you complete charlatan? No, you haven't got that as a backable, provable, discernible fact. It's just something you're going to have to believe in, isn't it, Dave? You fucking charlatan. Who's subscribed to this wanker? He's just a fucking con man. He doesn't have a place in this community. Expel this man from your life. He's a shyster. Offering up new beliefs. Not only is he offering you new beliefs, he's doing it in such an egregious manner that he tells you don't have to believe him. What a wanker. This is about as scummy as it gets. You don't have to believe me. Offers up half a dozen beliefs for you to believe in. What a wanker. Just fuck him off. Get him out of your life. You don't need these con men.
we think
We do we, Dave? No, we do not. I object to every word you say, you con man charlatan. There is no we here. There's Dave the fuckwit charlatan con man, grifter, with his app and his beliefs that he tells you don't have to believe in. He's a con man. It's obvious.
Antarctica is. Does it go all the way around?
Does it, Dave? You're going to ask it as a question proof now?
Or does it go
Maybe a question proof with another false dichotomy attached to it.
farther beyond it?
Maybe if it's a false dichotomy, it's only one of those two choices, Dave.
We don't know because we don't have
Oh, do we not? So why are you offering it up as speculation when you told us explicitly we wouldn't have to believe anything you say? It's just you're offering this speculatively without any proof and you don't even know it. So you don't even fully wholeheartedly believe in it either, do you, Dave? This is about as low a standard as it gets. Now we've had a bit of cockwaffle from a charlatan. Earth is measured flat. Yeah? This man needs to be out in the mainstream to keep flat Earth as slow moving and as ass backwards as it can possibly be. That's what he's here for. Just like Jaron, just like Witsit. These shills are only here to fuck things up for anybody who actually knows Earth's flat. That's us, me. So when Dave says we, it does not include me. I don't want to be associated with this charlatan. Yeah? He'll undoubtedly be the one who goes down in history, though, won't he? Yeah? The grifter, the con man, the charlatan will be the one that gets recorded in the history of this particular spout of flat Earth as an ism, as a belief, which it isn't. I say it again, Earth's measured flat. You don't need Dave.
Access, we can speculate, we can make claims.
Can we, when you told us we didn't need to believe you, just like a con man? That's how con men do it. You don't need to believe me. Oh, by the way, did you have this thing that I could tell you all about? You could believe in that.
We can show evidence.
Evidence would be proof, Dave. That's what evidence means. It means proof.
But we don't know because...
So it's not evidence then, Dave. You're a shyster, you're a con man, you're a grifter.
We talked about the Antarctic Treaty. You have all...
Did we? Yeah, you fully indoctrinated angels of light. He's going to get shouted at next time I see him. Do you hear me, angels? You're just as bad as this grifter. You said you knew the extremities based on some Antarctic treaty. So is it just on the one hand you'll take wholeheartedly everything your government tells you? All right, so everything from the Antarctic treaty must be taken as read, must it? No, you fucking retard. You do not know the extremities. You won't prove that which you nodded along. Because you just want to be in Dave's cuck shadow, do you? How pathetic.
All of these islands out here, if everyone...
What islands out where? You're pointing at some ice wall on some fucking model that you've got held up in full dichotomy, Dave, you grifter.
Remembers the Falkland War for the little island? Why are they fighting?
The Falkland War? Falkland War? Dave? You are a spastic and embarrassment, Dave. Do you know that? You are a shit-for-brains retard con artist.
Fighting over that. These are where military bases run.
Are they? Sorry, is this going to be proven? Are we going to see them? You're going to show photographs of them with provable, discernible facts in terms of their position geographically? You're going to show that, Dave? Or is this going to be one of those times where you told us we don't need to believe you, but you're offering this shit like it's a belief?
Run by the Crown are there, and they guard Antarctica. They don't allow anybody unsupervised, without prior permission, to go beyond that 60 degrees south location. So there it is.
But
No, that's not where it is. That's where you say it is on a model based on what you've been told by your government. So selective reasoning. Oh, in this instance, because it affirms Dave's choice in belief, he's going to believe everything that he's been given by his government in this instance. Oh, really? You verified much of that, did you, Dave? No, he didn't, by the way. He didn't verify a single word he just said. Not one. Like any good con man, he just made it up.
people do go to Antarctica.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they've acquired permission to go there.
Yeah, but there's no free and independent exploration of the outer South.
Okay. All right. I am somewhat familiar with the Antarctic Treaty.
Who cares? Get Earth's measured flat. Again, now we're into this little segue of non-importance that doesn't get us anywhere or argue for a flat Earth in any way, shape or form, unless we're talking about actual measurements taken in Antarctica. Yet when I tell people who are actually in Antarctica about the measurements that they'll be taking, do you know what they do to me when they're on the phone from Antarctica talking to me? They scream, "Where are the guns, Nathan?" I'll give you a quote. "He tried to deflect with measurements," end quote, Mucktoon from Antarctica, when asked about the flat Earth affirming measurements that they were taking down there. So, who gives a shit what your government tells you about the Antarctic Treaty? It's measured flat everywhere, including but not limited to Antarctica.
It was signed by...
Who gives a shit?
Even the Soviet Union back, I believe, the Soviet Union and the United States.
So does this make the slightest bit of difference to your argument that we're on a ball that you believe in, sir?
They all agreed on that treaty.
Who cares?
Back in, was it the 50s or the 60s?
Well, maybe we could argue about this for about half an hour with Dave, the charlatan con man, so he can get to the point where he flogs you a few apps. Yeah? I'll just do it again. Earth's measured flat in Antarctica. When I point that out, our opponents on the globe side yell my name into the abyss. Those are the facts in this matter when we're talking about Antarctica. My name has been screamed into the Antarctic abyss because I talk about Earth being measured flat. So what do these wankers talk about? Oh, well, they talk about the Antarctic Treaty. So we simultaneously don't believe this section from government, but we do believe that section from government because it affirms our beliefs in ice walls.
Late 50s, right?
Okay. So let's go back to the whole flat plane. Now, the obvious arguments against.
Sorry, that's not an argument. That's a topographical fact in terms of how we measure Earth with reference to anything. Heights, all distances, everything. All of Earth is always measured flat. It's not a debate.
That would be that, you know, the typical arguments we hear, or
What arguments? There are no arguments for an Earth that's measured flat. That's a statement of fact.
or even C, is that as a boat moves out into the distance, you can see it.
Sorry, distance. We're going to measure that linear with miles or kilometres. That'll be a flat plane measurement in that distance that you're talking about the boat being. So before we do anything, you stupid quiff-using dickhead, Brill Cream won't get you out of this one. You will need a flat Earth linear measurement in miles or kilometres to that fucking boat. So, spastic grey-haired old fox, how the fuck are you going to share your knowledge of a globe Earth when the distance to this fucking boat is in miles, which is linear? That's flat, you fucking retard. Don't use our stuff, you grey-haired old spastic. You're not going to give us a fucking distance in flat Earth miles or kilometres to tell me how flat it isn't. Do you hear me, you stupid old twat? Like every one of you fucktards on the globe side of this spastic debate you think there is, you immediately go to using flat Earth measurements. In this case, the distance. Distance is measured flat, you grey-eyed old twat.
The further out it goes.
What, in linear measurements, flat? Yeah, that'll be a flat Earth prerequisite that you're using immediately, you stupid old man.
Past the horizon, which
That's flat?
could be calculated to calculate the distance of the horizon.
Yeah, it's at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off a flat Earth in feet. If you're going to suggest that it's a geometric, physical, reifiable Earth curve edge horizon, as you obviously are doing. Yeah, in order to do that, as you've just done it, you will need your height off a flat surface. The observer height in feet is off surface level. It must be flat for your eye level in that calculation, end quote you, to be parallel with the ground, which you're measuring your height off. Again, immediately after being in a position to suggest you've got ball proof, you use flat Earth heights off the surface level. This is fucking infuriating, you stupid grey-haired old bastard. Don't fucking use our heights off surface level in feet to infer a geometric sphere edge horizon. Yeah, that's at 1.22 times your square root of the observer's height off surface level. It's right there in your fuckwit Earth curve maths, you stupid old twat.
Is probably not a big deal, but
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal when you're using your observer height off a flat Earth, you stupid old twat. Notice how Dave's not interrupting you to point out that you've just used a flat Earth linear distance to a boat and a height off surface level.
you could see that parts of the boat start to disappear, and then eventually the boat disappears over the horizon.
But you can't go over a horizon when you're calculating it at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet off surface level. That requires a distance measurement that's linear and flat, and a height off a surface level. That's the level of the surface that we're talking about, curving. No, it's got to be flat. And it must be flat because if it isn't, you won't have a parallel eye level when you raise above it to calculate, not measure, this reified geometric sphere edge horizon. You are thick as shit. You have no fucking idea how Earth's curve's calculated, otherwise you'd know just how flat Earth must be for you to calculate it. Now, my name is Nathan Oakley. I'm not a spastic like Dave Weiss. I know how Earth must be measured flat for your example that you've used twice. Linear distance to boat, height off surface level. Don't use our flat Earth measurements, you bunch of globe-believing spastics. You're gonna get fucking told off.
Presumably, this would be going around the curve of the Earth.
No, there isn't one. You've just measured a height off surface level and a distance in linear miles or kilometres. So definitely not a curve to that surface level you've just claimed for your calculation, you stupid spastic.
And that's why we can't see it.
No. Why we can't see it is inferred in orthographic view if you measure your height off a surface level. That's only got one measurement and it proves Earth's flat. Idiot!
So that would be an obvious argument.
An argument for a flat Earth measurement. A prerequisite eye level being parallel with surface level. A linear distance that can only be flat. Yeah, you've just proven flat Earth, mate.
A counter argument to
There is no counter argument. You've just used flat Earth measurements. How are you going to counter your need for a mile's distance to the boat? You're going to tell me that that fuckwit distance isn't linear? No, you're not going to do that, sir. How are you going to combat your need for a height off surface level? You're not going to do that, sir. You need a flat Earth for your calculation you just inferred.
to the whole flat plane.
What, the one you just used for linear distances and heights off surface level with parallel eye level? No, that's not something that's going to be violated. Now you've just used it, you idiot.
Sure. This is one of our.
Okay.
Let's. I mean, if you don't.
Have it. You're a fucking retard, Dave. Get out of this community, you stupid con man.
At that point, I don't want to go to another point.
You don't want to go to another point? Well, that's good, because I just pointed out how he proved the flat Earth with his point. What are you going to do? Stutter at him?
It's just a good starting point.
The starting point, like a parallel surface and eye level. Yeah, that's a good point for proving Earth's flat. Well done. That's just a good starting point, the distance to the boat in miles or kilometres being linear and flat in all instances. Yeah, that's a good starting point for proving a flat Earth, would be my reply. What did Dave say? What?
Can discuss that. I'd like to
We were discussing it. We were discussing how you just proved flat Earth twice.
hear how you would argue that.
He doesn't need to argue anything. But Dave, the one who said that there wasn't a globe model, is now literally holding a globe. This man is a shill. He's only here to keep the globe alive in the debate. That's what he's doing right now. He's literally holding a globe. He also told you didn't have to offer any beliefs for what he said. He's offered multiple. He's etheric, electrostatic, ice wall punting con man, holding a globe for his false dichotomy to come to fruition.
You agree you can't see my mouth right now, right?
No, I cannot.
Because it's behind a physical curve.
I've got a physical curve, Dave, in mathematics that infers curvature. It's not physical. Yeah? It's at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet in an orthographic view that you can't reify into physical actuality because it violates the base principle of a flat measurement off a surface level and a linear distance in miles. Now, if you weren't a fuckwit, con man, grifter, only here to squeeze as much money out of people for apps as possible, you'd know that. Obviously, in knowing that, people can get on with their day and they don't need to hang around getting useless shit information from this con man grifter.
A physical
Let
obstruction.
me in.
What? Because you weren't here earlier, Neil, so there wasn't anybody in the hangout and it closed.
Oh, I see. What happened?
Just told you like 3.5 seconds ago. There was no one in the hangout, so it closed.
Oh, you had the door open. Okay.
No, not anymore. No, we're not. That's only what I do for the book. Now, you
What
have
are
to
we
have
going
permission.
over?
We have to have permission now. If you want to get into this hangout, you need my permission now. It's like normal.
Okay.
We're back to normal. You know,
Okay,
it was
what are you
before
going over?
Dave Weiss.
Oh, good. I missed it? What the freak?
Yes.
So the globe has a required physical obstruction at a certain distance. And do you know what the
Sorry, at a certain distance that's linear, Dave. That makes no sense if you understand the rhetoric. You're immediately fucking this up, you spastic. The distance itself is flat Earth proving. Dave saying that the flat Earth proving distance is a requirement for a globe to have a physical geometric sphere edge. Something we debunked in 2020. These are spastics. Dave's a spastic. I don't want him in our community anymore. He's a spastic. Get out of our community, you stupid grifting con man asshole.
do you know what the
question
curvature?
is, what is Angels of Light doing with him?
Oh, he's got his tongue up Dave Weiss's asshole because Dave's popular. Yeah, because he's a con man grifter fucking up everything for Flat Earth is popular. Therefore, Angels of Light stuck his tongue up Dave's ass. And apparently knows the limits of our known existence because of the Antarctic Treaty.
Formula is by chance?
I could calculate it myself, but
You could you? It's at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet off a flat plane. You need to calculate that dip to a geometric physical sphere edge horizon in orthographic representation that you can't experience based on your height off surface level and distance. in linear miles or kilometers. You're going to need a flat Earth to do this calculation. I've just gone through it.
Is the radius to the
So what, you're going to assume you're asking already? Radius? What radius? Where'd you get that? Like, it's just begging the question. Straight up going to assume we've got a radius, are you?
Earth? What is the radius of the Earth? I wrote it.
You don't know the radius of Earth that you believe you're standing on? Spastic. This is the dumb fuck level that we have to deal with. This spastic who doesn't even know the fucking radius. 39.59, you spastic.
Down.
39.59.
At least Dave knows it. Of course Dave knows it. He's a flat earther. You'd expect Dave to know the radius of Earth as a sphere off the top of his head. It's about the only thing he can rattle off without stuttering.
30. What is that, miles? I work in kilometers.
Yeah, miles.
Okay, I have 6,300. Okay, so what was that again in miles?
39.59.
39.59 radius.
Why is nobody saying no? No, where the fuck do you get that from? Like, did you have a measurement for it? Did that get measured? Kilometers or miles? Did we measure this? Why is nobody objecting? Oh, my bad. Angels, you need to pull your tongue out of Dave Weiss's ass and ask him where the fuck he got it from. We're just going to assume he's got one? No, there isn't one. We got miles, though, haven't we? They're flat Earth measurements. Yeah? But we're just going to give him this radius. Yeah, nobody's talking about it. Angels is too busy licking Dave's ass.
So, okay. So you're asking me to calculate how much?
No, they didn't ask you anything. This man is hearing fucking voices. Nobody asked you to do anything of the sort.
Disappears over the horizon.
No, that was you and what you said. They didn't ask you to do anything.
Right. So you don't need to calculate it now.
Okay.
We know it. We're going to tell it to you.
So we know the Earth curve maths, do we, Dave? Yeah, when I use them to prove a flat Earth with the prerequisites like surface level and eye level being parallel with it, like the distance being linear. Things like that, that's what I know, Dave, but you just want to get straight into this false dichotomy and make sure we talk about the globe as much as possible, do you? Let's see.
Don't believe it. Verify it later so we don't waste it.
I have a calculator here. Go ahead.
So at 3 miles, the curvature is 6 feet.
So notice how Dave, the alleged flat earther, actually a shill, a grifter, a con man, is now getting into telling you where Earth curve is. Notice how Dave, a flat earther's talking about globe maths? Anybody pick up on what's going on here? These are shills. They're not here to tell you Earth's flat. I'll do it right now. I said to do it when Dave does things like this shillery, this con artistry, this I'll tell you all about the bleeding globe. When I got an opportunity in clear airwaves, I'll tell you where Earth curve's supposed to be. Now, Earth's measured flat, and the distance that Dave gives will be linear and flat Earth affirming. So will any heights that he asserts. He won't point that out. He'll just tell you how the globe's supposed to work. You watch.
Feet. At 10 miles,
That's a flat Earth distance.
66 feet. Now, if we
The feet are also flat, linear.
had a perfectly glass
Why are we doing this? Got 2 flat Earth proofs that it's just whistled past. Dave's not here to prove Earth's flat. He's here to tell you about the globe. Just cut him out of your life, unsubscribe, disconnect from his app. The man's a grifter. Doesn't have a place here.
water day,
You're an asshole, Dave. You're a con man. I'm sick of it.
cool, clear, no humidity, no pollution. So we have the best visibility. The closest that horizon, the farthest that horizon should be to a 6-foot observer is
So you can't have a distance to horizon. The horizon isn't something you can get a postcode at. You can't measure a distance to it. The alleged distance in Earth curve maths, utilising linear miles or kilometres and utilising heights off a surface level, has a distance to horizon that can't be reified. It's orthographic. But Dave will put a picture of a fucking horizon up and tell you where it's supposed to be in Earth curve terms. He's just a shill. He's only here punting the globe. There's nobody. And why is nobody else picking up on this? The biggest names in flat Earth only talk about the globe.
Nathan, I listened for 30 minutes and there wasn't one mention of a measurement.
They're not here to talk about Earth being measured flat. They're talking about how globe-shaped it is or isn't. Keeps the dichotomy alive. It's sad.
Now I know why Angels of Light was in here Friday. You knew he did. Earth curve, baby.
Hello.
Hello, good to be here. Good to be back. We'll be back to our regular scheduled programming from here on forward. So from now, I think I'm pretty much over having a tooth out. I think I'll live. And yeah, we'll get back to our normal schedules now. So I did try and squeeze a few live shows in through the period of being off ill and dosed up with antibiotics. But now we can actually get back to proper regular scheduled shows. So Monday, good start. Let's do a bit of housekeeping. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge that's a horizon formerly known as Earth curvature?
Ex Big Bald Dave and Angels of Light. They'll tell you exactly where it is.
Okay, for members, if you want to check out the Uncut and After show after the live show and after show finishes, we were discussing the Angels of Light, Dave, and whoever that particular videographer was. I don't know. I didn't actually pay attention to it in the pre-show. So feel free to check out that. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge, though?
Negative.
What about any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
There is no movement.
Any movement that's inferred, in heliocentric terms at least, is described with respect to a plane of reference.
That's correct.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Wait till that part comes up. No, there's no science in gravity. Gravity is just a word.
Well,
Can you
any
define
single...
it first?
Go ahead, Goat. Was that Goat?
It has to be defined first.
Well, they talk about it having a downward pull to the center of the Earth, but I thought it was Einstein's bending of space-time. So they can't even get that right.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun? Yes, Robert MB Realist, we are indeed live. What about any evidence that you can have gas pressure, that's what we're all breathing, without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Sulfur hexafluoride.
Still need a container for that.
Yeah.
Need containment for everything.
So gas still abides by the second law of thermodynamics. Entropic dispersion still rules then. The space is fake. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas you're breathing would have dispersed into it and you wouldn't be breathing. We'd all be dead if there was a sky vacuum for rockets to travel through. Automatically debunking the moon landing, travelling to Mars, Voyager, little gold discs flying through space. It's all bollocks, the whole lot. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
Awake Soul says, when's the book released? Soon. We're on chapter 8 of 15 chapters. Now, by chapter 8, I mean it's all written, it's being polished, checked over before going to the publicist. Is that the right word? Publicist? Such a long time since I've spoken to Chuck.
Yes.
Publicist, yeah, that's right. Anyway, he'll do the same thing. I'm sure he'll go through it as well. But in the meantime, before we pass it on to him, we're going through it with a fine-tooth comb, and we're the majority of the way done what we're calling editing the book. That is to say, checking what's already been done. It's a long and tedious process, but at the end is in sight. Thank God. I can't give you a day. I don't know when. Soon.
Soon. So now that housekeeping is all done, what are we going to do now, Nathan?
I didn't actually ask every housekeeping question, but that's fine. I'd see we're done with it, aren't
What
we, Neil?
pitch data, Neil? Have you got evidence of pitch data on a globe that you're hiding?
Oh, that's right. No, we gotta get that one in there, Nathan. Sorry.
No, we're done now. It's been said now, Neil. There's no going back. We'll do more
Man, I'm
housekeeping throughout the week.
rusty.
Don't worry. We don't need to cover them all on every single show. It's fine. It's all good. But you want me to ask, so I will. Any evidence you can acquire a pitch data on a globe?
On a globe. That's a
It's
joke.
a stupid question, isn't it? Heights off surface level, they're a prerequisite. It's like Brian when he was saying he didn't need the pitch data before we got it. He was so right. He didn't need it. It's axiomatically linked to Earth being flat. You can't be in straight and level flight without Earth being flat. The fact that the pitch data shows it in really simple terms on a graph with respect to a horizontal plane that the plane's flying over, you get people like Disgruntled Danny saying, the fact that flat earthers say that we'd have to nose up to not fly off into space. No, planes don't nose down, they fly level. And making apologies for why they don't fly around a globe isn't us saying they should. That's idiotic. They don't. You would say that they should do it if they did it. They don't. Planes, that is, don't nose down around a curved Earth. They fly
Well,
flat.
according to Brian Cox, but it's Dr. Brian Cox. I'll correct myself.
Professor.
Flat earthers shouldn't be allowed to travel because we believe that pilots are part of a grand conspiracy and trying to trick us.
But Cox says I shouldn't fly because I believe... No, I didn't believe anything of the sort. I mean, I could just make up some shite about Cox being a flight risk. What with all those murders that he's committed. I could just make shit up like Cox has done something criminal, couldn't I? Yeah, Cox, you're a wanker. I understood from a tale from one of the roadies that Cox got gaffer taped to the lighting rig because he was such an annoying prick. Everyone around him fucking hated him. Yeah, so they bullied him for being a prick. So that's obviously what this prick, Cox, does later in life. Starts asserting that, flat earthers shouldn't go on flights? Oh, really? I think you should be strapped to a lighting rig with gaffer tape. Oh, it already happened, didn't it, Cox, you wanker? That's because the people around you didn't like you, you wanker. Yeah, that's why you got gaffer taped to a lighting rig and raised up into the roof? Because people around you didn't like you. They thought you were a wanker. And we still do. Yeah, because you say things like people should be banned from flying because they... And then insert straw man that they didn't say here that Cox made up. About us believing something that the flight crew believe it. No, we don't, Cox. You're a wanker. You're deserving of being gaffer taped to lighting rigs and raised up into the roof. Hopefully you screamed like a little girl and thought you were going to die. Let's hope that was the case, you pathetic twat. I hate Cox. He's a total wanker.
Agreed. And it's a shame because he's English and it hurts us more when one of your own lets you down.
Send them to America with the rest of them.
Just quote him. There isn't really a force of gravity at all. End quote, Professor Brian Cox. Oh, thanks, Professor Wanker Cox. Yeah, when you're not gaffer taped to a lighting rig, you're actually quite useful for debunking the rest of the high school educated wankers we have to face here, who think that gravity's a force. Not really a force at all, end quote you. Thanks, Cox. You pathetic wanker. Yeah, I'll fly wherever the hell I like, dickhead. I'll also go to the black box data. Maybe we should put this out as an actual challenge, right? I'd like to know. Now, we've got this board, the NTSB, National Transportation and Safety Board. And in their data that they investigate regularly, not necessarily on a daily basis, but air crash investigations predominantly are the ones that make the headlines from the NTSB. They are using black box data and pitch information that affirms beyond all doubt that Earth is being measured as a flat plane. The level flight that they record in that flight data is shown in pitch data as exactly that, flat. Now, Cox is suggesting that I, as a flat earther, believe in something that the flight crew believe. Now, that's a complete garbage lie that Cox has made up, a straw man that he's burning. But I will put this challenge out there, and I hope that it makes its way to Cox. Are the NTSB, National Transportation and Safety Board, who investigate deaths on flights lying when they show beyond all doubt that Earth is measured flat in their pitch data? Because according to Cox, I shouldn't even be on that flight, that the NTSB agrees with me with recorded data. So who's right, me and the NTSB, or Cox, a wanker ex-muso who was gaffer taped to a lighting rig? Is it me that's right, or is it Cox the wanker? I'm pretty sure it's me and the NTSB and our flat Earth measurements versus what Cox says flat earthers believe about flight crew. Go ahead.
No, I was just testing it because I don't have the hand up anymore. But since you got me, that's another thing that bothered me about that video particularly. I don't know if you're going to go over it, but I'm going to say it anyway. They never even mentioned that gravity was not a force. Not that I heard.
Yeah, they were debunking it within the paradigm that it is a force still.
Who were? What are you talking about?
David Weiss and Angels of Light in their discussion.
Oh, we're getting back onto this, are we? Fair enough. We have finished
gentlemen.
housekeeping.
Away. Anything past that will start to get hidden behind a physical.
Of course, we haven't actually done this, have we, in the live stream yet? Okay, so as is always the case, this videographer is who gets the plugs. In this instance, it's the way of Will John. That's the name of the channel. So please let this videographer know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite remark that doesn't immediately get eradicated by the YouTube algorithmic bots, or indeed if you're passive aggressive with the videographer themselves. So try and be polite, just let them know. Just allude to the facts. We have covered your video, or words to that effect. Just let him know that we've covered his video. And yeah, give him a like, give him a comment, just help him along in the YouTube algorithm, as I would hope would be the case if he was to do the same for me. So if he was to do a response and say, oh, by the way, I got a load of comments saying at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, I'd hope that if he did a response, he'd put the same effort into promoting my channel as I'm putting now into promoting his with my channel viewers. Thank you very much for doing so. If you are doing it live now, there's a link going by in the live stream chat. Shout out to Sasha, otherwise known as Unitox Femu, who says, a fox called Cox doesn't know what is black box, but if you drop box, then Cox will say no force. Well, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
That's a good one.
I'm surprised I could read it.
Curve. Can you agree with that?
I think those numbers are correct. I just checked. There is an Earth curve calculator.
Yes, there's an Earth curve calculator, and Dave Weiss, as a flat earther, has successfully just got his opponent, who's already on the globe side, to agree that there's Earth curve maths. What an achievement. Unsubscribe from Dave Weiss immediately if you are a flat earther, because he is not. He's not here to promote flat Earth. He's just got his globe-believing opponent to affirm globe Earth maths that we debunked in 2020. Dave Weiss has spent a significant period up until this, which we covered in the pre-show, affirming globe Earth false dichotomies and talking about flat Earth measurements in the form of how they'll be proving distance to globe Earth horizons. So, just so we're clear, Dave isn't proving flat Earth, but he's very keen to make sure we talk about the globe.
Yeah. So we have them. Verify them later, of course.
Yes, that sounds correct.
You go away and verify globe Earth mathematics that require a flat plane that Dave will never mention.
Correct.
So, and if I sat down
with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. Down is a directionality that requires horizontal. You can only be down on a flat plane. You can't be down on a globe. Dave also will use these flat earth affirming words and language and never mention that you can only have these linguistically connected to a flat plane. He'll never mention it.
I'm now no longer 6 feet tall. That horizon's going to come even closer to me because I'm lower.
Correct. Your perspective.
Lower is, in terms of Earth measurement, actually describing how close to the ground you are. It's a flat Earth elevation. So this is a flat Earth prerequisite. Dave's using it and whistling past the graveyard of a globe Earth. If that's what he wants to talk about, he's just killed it and hasn't mentioned it.
Perspective is different, yeah.
So we're going to show you some observations that
Perspective requires a flat plane to describe mathematically.
That require magical refraction. So out here...
So why are we talking about refraction? This is going to be something that's contained deep in the underbelly of Earth curve mathematics once assumed. that we have a radius. Where's angels of light piping up for proof of the radius that we're now assuming? And the refraction calculations, what, 7/6 of said radius that we've just given them for some reason. These are shills. Dave Weiss isn't a flatty. He's only going to talk about Earth curve from this point forward. He's not here to tell you Earth's measured flat.
There's no boat. You can't see a boat. So look carefully. Ready? So as we zoom in, we're increasing the angular size. So we're making...
So an angle, that's a flat Earth prerequisite. I just said it. Perspective requires a flat plane of reference to describe it mathematically. It's a flat Earth proof. What Dave will do is take this flat Earth prerequisite that can only be utilising a flat plane, ignore that fact, and start talking about how it directly connects to a globe Earth that we can keep alive in this false dichotomy. Unsubscribe from David Weiss. He is a shill. He's only here to promote globe Earth maths. He'll whistle past every flat Earth proof, and I'll be here to point them out.
Our aperture bigger and bigger and bigger. And as we do, all of a sudden you see, oh, look, there is a boat there. Now, my finger can't hide that whole boat. But if my finger was a wave in the foreground, as I zoom out, my finger...
Sorry, who gives a shit about what is hiding boats? Right? If his opponent, that's the globe believer, not Dave, unsubscribe from Dave. I shouldn't be attacking this from a flat earther, should I? I shouldn't have to unpack this globe earth rhetoric. Dave's doing it, not the glober. He's not welcome in this community anymore. I'm sodding sick of it. Right, Dave is telling you about how globe earth maths works.
Finger's going to hide the whole boat, okay? And these little waves in the foreground...
How perspective works beyond the prerequisite flat plane requirement in angle descriptions has no bearing on Earth. Yeah, you can describe it mathematically, and then you'll need a flat Earth prerequisite. That is literally game over for the globe. I only say that because that's what Dave's seemingly alluding to his raison d'etre being. He's here to debunk a globe. And no. You don't need Dave to debunk a globe. Everything that is useful in their measurements to suggest a globe proves a flat Earth is being measured.
The boat looks like it's going over the curvature.
See, told you, he's a shill. Unsubscribe from him. Boat looks like it's going over the curvature, end quote, Dave Weiss. He's not here to tell you about flat Earth prerequisites in the form of perspective. He's not here to tell you about flat Earth prerequisites in the form of distance. He's not here to tell you about flat Earth prerequisites in the form of height. He's telling you about Earth curve, ladies and gentlemen. The man's a shill. He's a con artist. He's a grifter. He's not here for flat Earth. Certainly not here for you to progress your understanding of it. I'll give you that when I tell you in no uncertain terms. Dave's got 5 flat Earth proofs, and he hasn't affirmed any of them as being a flat Earth. He's just telling you about what the globe should or shouldn't do.
But you can agree that that boat's not going over curvature.
So it's just whether or not it's going over curvature, whether or not the opponent will agree with Earth curvature being the cause or not. Forget about the gravestones that the curve's already got. It's being measured flat, linear. Hello? We can only describe every single aspect of this in measurable terms with a flat Earth. That's the only way it can be done. Nothing that Dave will describe here has anything to do with Earth curve. Why is he even doing it? He's not a globe head! Yeah, well, that's what you need. You need people like Jaron pretending to be flat earthers to tell you how, oh yeah, Antarctic sun proofs are on a globe. When we measure the angle off a flat plane to the sun, it proves the globe, says Jaron. Notice how stupid it sounds when I say it. You need Dave to tell you how the flat Earth linear measurements of miles and kilometres, or your height off a flat plane with a parallel eye level, will give you a boat disappearing over a curve or not. Get them out of your lives. Just unsubscribe from these charlatans.
It's going out of our ability to see it. It's going out of our angular resolution limit.
Angular resolution limit is a prerequisite flat Earth description, mathematically. As Dave mentioned it, no, he's talking about how it can't be Earth curve. Keeping it alive. Keeping the false dichotomy going. That's his place in this flat Earth community. Dave's a shill. His only place is to keep the globe Earth argument alive. That's what he's doing. Can you all see that? I'm not asking rhetorically. Can you all see how what Dave's doing is keeping the globe Earth argument alive? Can you all see that?
Yep, and all they're doing is talking about what you shouldn't be able to see.
Yeah. Like the bloody Earth curve mass that needs flat Earth to utilise surface level will dictate what we should or shouldn't see. And how we should argue about it is going to be laid out by Dave the Scammer.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
You got an agreement about Earth curve from your opponent there, Dave. Shouldn't you be getting him to be trembling in the flat Earth measurements? Trembling in the wake of the perspective that needs a flat Earth? No. Dave's just here to get agreements out of globeheads. Because he's a flatty that you subscribe to. You my audience. What are you doing subscribe to this man? Call yourself a flatty? Yeah, you're part of the problem. If you subscribe to Dave, you're part of the problem. You're just keeping a globe Earth rhetoric alive.
If it was behind a physical curve, we couldn't zoom in on it. No.
So if it was behind a physical curve, so you're going to suggest that, are you, Dave? Whether or not it's a curve is all Dave's here for. To make it seem like that's how flat earthers should argue about if it will or will not present itself based on its blockage from curve when showing actual views of a flat horizon. Meanwhile, their distance to that horizon in their Earth curve maths will be a measurement of a flat Earth. Something Dave will never mention.
No, but even if we had the Hubble telescope.
Well, there are other...
Yeah, more shillery. Dave talking about a telescope out in a sky vacuum. Yeah, giving them that too. What a shill. Has Dave validated that there's a Hubble telescope? Has he? Bollocks. Just another thing that he's going to take from the side that he tells you don't need to believe. Yeah, it'll be all for telling you don't believe the 9/11 truth that they've been giving you. But meanwhile, he'll take anything they feed him from the Antarctic Treaty. Yeah? From the Hubble telescope, says his friendly government, that he simultaneously suggests you shouldn't believe. This is a con man. Yeah, if you're still subscribed to Dave, have a word. Yeah, part of the controlled opposition much. He's a grifter and a con man and a shill.
There are elements at play here, such as the refraction, but...
What, at 7/6 of the radius that you seem to have been gifted by these grifters? Yeah? 7/6 of a radius value in an orthographic mathematics isn't refraction, sir. You're an idiot.
Yes, I would agree that... How far is that boat away? Is that...
Or in linear flat Earth miles or kilometres? That question can only be answered on a flat Earth. Can I just check that everybody in the Discord and on my G+ panel understands that his question can only be answered with a flat Earth?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You just asked a question that has a flat Earth prerequisite in linear miles or kilometres, sir. Yeah? But can I ask the audience a question? What's Dave doing about this fact that proves a flat Earth? Is he shoving it down the opponent's face, or is he keeping Earth curve mathematics alive? Ask yourself why he's here. Ask yourself who he associated with. Yeah? All the shills who went down to Antarctica. Yeah, those same shills were screaming my name about deflecting to measurements of a flat Earth that they're measuring. Meanwhile, Dave was propping him up, wasn't he? Yeah? He had him on his boat, didn't he? Yeah? The Gerrans and the Witzits. These are all grifters. They're all con men. They're all in on the grift of keeping a globe alive. That's their purpose here.
That
We don't know. We don't know on that one, but
Okay.
we do have...
We don't know what the distance to the boat in linear flat Earth proving miles or kilometres, Dave. We don't know. What the only useful measurement we could have offered, you don't know. Well, it's a good job you, the flat earther, gets quickly away from the only thing that you've mentioned that could be proving a flat Earth so far. Good job you don't know it. It's on Dave's screen, by the way. Dave's presenting this. Again, just another way of making us look like retards.
We have other ones where...
We, Dave? No, you spastic shill here to flog your app and grift people into arguing about Earth curve that they don't need because they've got flat Earth proving linear miles. You don't know the distance in your video. No, it's probably best that you don't if you're shilling for a globe. The distance would be flat Earth affirming, so best we get away from that if you're a shill, which Dave is. I just want to make it absolutely abundantly clear, I don't approve of Dave's message. He's not a flat earther, he never was. He's only ever propped up the people who have demonstrated themselves as shills, and now Dave's affirming globe earth maths and steering away from everything that proves a flat earth. Unsubscribe from this man immediately.
Angel, are you able to share images as well, or I can share them and you can talk about them?
What? The ones that you're sharing that you don't know the distances in there, Dave? The only thing that would be proving a flat Earth and you didn't know about it. I see. Very shilly, Dave, very shilly. Me, I'd be shoving the flat Earth affirming distances in miles or kilometres right down that guy's throat.
Yeah, I mean, I can show my own observation that I did. I've got the video ready. I can share it.
Really? Angels of Light, have you got the proof that you know the extremities of the Earth? Because you affirmed to this man that you knew those. And I'm going to be needing those, Angels of Light, yeah? Can somebody get in touch with Angels of Light? At the prior part of this interview, he was asked about the extremities and ice walls, while Dave Weiss was pointing at some map, some bullshittery. And Angels of Light suggested that he did absolutely know. I'm going to need that evidenced by Angels of Light. So can we all let Angels of Light know that his scammy, shilly, arse-licking nature, when he suggests he knows the extremities of an ice wall, he's going to need to actually prove that now. Yeah?
Yeah, some numbers would be good if we could know how far away that particular object is.
Yeah, it's almost like this was lined up for making Dave look like a complete spastic, wasn't it? Like, he's presented the video, and the only measurement he could have offered in terms of the distance to the boat he doesn't know, he disclaims that, and then his opponent points it out. Not points it out, wrong term, reiterates it after Dave initially pointed it out. My name's Dave Weiss. I'm not his pretend flat earther and that, right? Yeah, we've got the distances. They're really important to this boat. Look at this in my video that I've got. I don't know the distances. We've got others, though. Opponent's response. Well, the distances would be quite useful. Yeah, they would, for proving a flat Earth. You grey-haired old codger. They're linear. No matter what you present to that boat, it's going to be a flat Earth prerequisite, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what bothered me about this. They could have led with the Black Swan, where you know the distances to the oil rigs and you can lay it out beautifully. Why did they even start with that? A photo that they don't know the distance to where the ship is.
We can calculate whether we can actually see it, then accounting for refraction.
So we can calculate it based on the flat Earth measurements of distances, can we? Then we can calculate refraction at 7/6 of a radius you've just assumed didn't know the value of. So you're going to calculate it with a value that you didn't know, and you will assume represents a spherical Earth. That would be called begging the question. Not just begging the question with a value you didn't know. So automatically assuming your outcome much. So we're automatically going to assume that Earth has a radius. Well, it's almost like Dave's giving them this on a silver platter. What a wonderful flat Earth treat we're being given by Dave.
Let Angel show you this demonstration, then I'll show you something that we know the exact numbers and you can verify.
Okay, great.
So just very quickly, right? You're saying that this horizon is curving down and away from us in all directions, correct?
Well, that's the model.
No, the model has a distance to the geometric horizon based on your observer height in feet off a surface level with an eye level that's parallel with it. So, no, you're wrong.
That we use in physics, correct?
You use in physics what the study of the physical and natural world, like natural science. That's a category error. You said calculating. Yeah, the measurement is of a flat Earth in miles. Or height off surface level. Those are the measurements. That's maths. This retard doesn't know what physics is, do you, sir? Did you not explain at the beginning of your resume statement that you were an expert in thermodynamics? The physical and natural world is dealt with by science. This would be maths, you total clown.
Okay, so watch this.
Breaking news. A whistleblower.
I think at this point we'll have a little break. We're halfway into the live show. Let's see if we've got any opinions from Discord or G+ in terms of what we've had so far from Dave Weiss, Angels of Light, and whoever this guest is on this dude's show, The Way of Will John.
I got something. This guy was open and could have led with measurements. I got no beef with anything. If you lead with measurements and lay it down how Earth is measured flat, first and foremost.
Yeah, and also this is the same script that Dave has been using for the past 7 years. perhaps. It's getting a bit old and a bit tired now.
Yeah, old,
It's
tired,
outdated.
flat earth ignoring rhetoric from Dave Weiss, the shill, grifter, con man who's only here to bleed money out of people for apps and prop up the most shilly, underhanded people who've exposed themselves as such in this community, like Jaren. Dave's part of it. Yeah, it's part of the controlled opposition. There's no other explanation for it. He's not proving a flat earth. He's only keeping the globe rhetoric alive.
In a boat that wasn't previously visible, see? Now, my second question to you is,
why are you asking him anything? The distance to the boat is measured in flat earth, proving miles or kilometres.
just said that it's curving down and away from us in all directions. Now,
How are you going to measure that? But for the fact that you'll need a horizontal plane of reference to measure the distance, you won't be doing anything.
my next question would have to be then, if that's the case, then how come when we zoom in onto the horizon, the boat in the distance appears higher in elevation than the buoy?
Who cares? Right, this is a question of perspective, as opposed to whether or not Earth is a level plane that you suggested at the beginning in your opening statement, Angels of Light. Topographical plane. Yeah, you need to prove that, rather than offering some question proof. Oh, Dave's trained you, haven't you? You haven't your tongue up his arse too long. So Dave's trained you in taking a perfectly reasonable linear distance to a boat and turning it into a question proof about how Earth could be flat. Maybe we'll argue about how curvy the surface could be with this opponent. Yeah, Dave's definitely trained out all the decent arguments out of you, hasn't he?
If it's curving down and away,
If it is curving, sorry, aren't you a flat earther anymore, Angels? If it's curving, no, the distance is measured in a linear miles or kilometres value that can't curve. It's linear. Why would you be speculating this? Oh, you've joined the shill crew of Dave Weiss and his cronies that question proofs their way into globedom. If it's curving, the hell's going on? What's going on? Somebody answer me. What's going on? Why is Angels of Light asking this question?
Because he is a shill as well.
You're a shill, Angels of
Yes.
Light? Or did you just find the fame appeal of Dave Weiss too desirable? Yeah? As you rammed your tongue up his arse.
the opposite should be true. The boat should appear lower than the buoy.
So why? Why should it? Lower? Lower will be a distance, a height with respect to a surface level. If you're describing how higher or lower something is, you need a flat earth to describe it. These are altitudes. Lower, what's closer to the surface? Yeah, the surface and how close to it is measured in height off it. Off sea level, in this instance. So, what Angels has had after spending some time in the company of the shills is all the decency of flat earth argumentation slowly rubbed out of him. Right? So, Angels, you thick? Yeah, spend a bit too much time in the company of shills? You're forgetting the flat earth prerequisite you'll need? Hello?
If you zoom all the way in on curvature that's curving down and away, it should curve.
So you definitely, you're full on going into the how much we should or shouldn't have curvature. Yeah, you're full on to the shill posse of Davedom. Yeah, make sure you rub in to your opponent's face how we should or shouldn't have earth curve when talking about linear distances or heights off surface level. How close you are to the deck measured off the deck being a level plane and parallel eye level. Oh my God. Didn't take long, right, for all of that decent information that we gave you to disappear, eh, Angels?
More down and away from you as you zoom in.
Down is flat earth affirming. If you knew that, you wouldn't be having this argument, but obviously Dave's trained you in keeping the globe alive.
No, do you know the distance of the boat there?
It's linear, flat earth only. Whatever that distance is, it'll prove a flat earth. You stupid grey-haired old tosser.
I mean, the buoy.
I know my altitude above the water there was 6 feet.
Altitude is flat earth affirming also. 6 feet off surface level. So your parallel eye level is 6 feet above the surface level. Yeah, you'll need a flat earth for that. Let's see if he mentions it, or if Dave's just been training him on how to keep the globe alive.
All right, so you're at 6 feet, yeah.
Yeah, off a surface level. Yeah. Flat Earth affirming. Let's see if Angels mentions it.
And how far away is the boat in miles?
In linear flat Earth miles. Let's see if Dave mentions how far in linear flat Earth proving miles we are when we're off a flat Earth surface for a parallel eye level. Let's see if any of this gets mentioned.
We don't know the exact distance, but
In linear flat Earth miles.
but the point he's making
Second time he's pointed out that we don't know it. Dave's here to make us look like spastics. It's his video. Hello. We've given him the Black Swan for free. Here's the Black Swan, Dave. He didn't want it. Yeah, he wanted to go on these shows and look like a retard. So that you, a flat earther, watching this, so you look like a retard. That's what Dave's purpose is. Yeah, this video that I'm putting up as an evidence. I don't know anything about it. We could go and get others, though. But I'll mention twice that I don't know the distance to this boat in my example. Yeah, he's here to make us look retarded. That's his purpose. Like I keep saying, just unsubscribe from Dave. The guy's an asshole.
here is the more distant.
Dead.
I'm sure the grey gentleman had already asked that question, hadn't he? So he's asking it again just to confirm that Dave doesn't know the distance of the boat in his own video. That's nuts.
Yeah, just to make absolutely sure in the mind's eye of the audience, this man is retarded. He is stupid. He doesn't know his own evidence. He's also whistling past every flat earth prerequisite that he's using as well, just so he can talk about how curvy it should or shouldn't be according to globe maths, that the guy doesn't know the radius that he's going to assume, and they're going to give him.
An object appears higher than the closer object.
Sorry, higher is a flat earth prerequisite. I'll just keep saying it because Dave won't. Again, why this man has any subscribers is beyond me. Yeah, it keeps whistling past the graveyard that proves flat earth.
But when we're on a ball, we're always on the top of.
When we're on a ball, from the man claiming to be flat earth Dave. When we're on a ball. That's what his purpose is. Do you all see it, audience? Do you hear what he's saying? When we are on a ball, says David Weiss. Yeah? Just unsubscribe from him. Delete his app. Cut the man out of your life. He's not here as a friend. He's our adversary. He's our opponent. He's helping them.
Exact distance, but the point he's
We don't know the distance. I'm a flat earther and stupid, right? We got that bit.
making here is the more distant object
More distant, right? Linear flat earth proving, not getting mentioned. Yeah.
appears higher
Higher on a flat earth surface that's not getting mentioned also.
than the closer object.
Than the closer object in linear flat earth proving miles or kilometres. Yeah.
But when we're on a ball,
But when we're on a ball. So whistle past every flat earth proving evidence that he's got in that sentence and segue onto a ball. Are you hearing me on FM, audience? Are you getting this? We're surrounded by shills. Every so often they'll come out of the woodwork like Jaren just has and make it absolutely abundantly clear, even to the stupid amongst us, that that's what they're here for. Now, Dave is still pretending to be a flatty, but he isn't helping us, is he? Nah, quite the contrary.
we're always on the top of the ball. And
Are we, Dave? Yeah, it'd be useful if you told us how you proved the flat earth once or twice. Yeah, but we're nicely into this discussion now, and anybody who's half asleep won't realise that you're now telling us how ball-shaped Earth can be considered. To be or not to be.
the farther things get, the lower they should be.
Both farther and lower are flat Earth prerequisites. I'll just keep saying it. Earth's measured flat with this. Dave's just not mentioning it. He's only going to mention how bally it can or can't be.
They go down and away.
Only on a flat Earth, Dave. I'll say it because you won't. I'm a flat earther, a real one that knows it's flat. You're a con man. A ball-believing con man. A wolf in sheep's clothing. You're pretending to be a flat earther so you can tell people about what would happen on a ball.
When you go across a ball,
you don't go across a ball. The distances that you just mentioned that you don't know in your own bleeding video making everybody look stupid aren't linear on a ball. That's why all the maps are flat, so you can retain those scales in kilometres or miles on the maps. You don't do this. This is Dave being that con man, that charlatan, that scammer that you should be unsubscribing from. He's just like Jaren. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it like I did with Jaren. This man's a scammer. Make no mistake, I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. He's a con man, a grifter. He's just out to get money out of you and make you get back on the ball. He's going to assert everything other than the flat earth proof he's using. Shout out to Daz888. Good to see no bite lost with the tooth. I like it.
Good one.
I love it. Very good.
Everything goes down and
Thank you for the super chat, Daz.
away.
Yes.
Down and away on a flat earth. Just those words, just that single sentence, I can prove a flat earth with it. Dave, not even going to get close to it.
I guess my question is,
Why are you asking anything? We've got flat earth proofs galore. It's the end of the discussion as far as I'm concerned. There shouldn't be any questions from this man at this stage.
if we
yeah,
can have
we
some
have
numbers.
flat earth proofs. They don't.
Dave just keeps the globe earth argument alive, keeps talking to his audience about how to calculate globe earth mass.
Here. I know what's
You stuttery old twat! Get a grip!
happening. I know what's happening here because the human eye can only see so far, and you were using obviously some form of camera. You were zooming in.
So far, what, like in a linear flat earth only distance? Is that sort of distance it can see? Yeah?
Now it's easy to calculate how far that
So we don't calculate distance, we measure distances. And they'll be linear and flat.
horizon line should be.
Right, horizons are flat also. They're useful axiomatically in principles that keep planes in the air.
You said you were at 6 feet.
Off of surface level, parallel eye level notwithstanding.
At 6 feet, the
Off a flat earth.
horizon should be about 3 miles away.
Oh.
So
Sorry, it should be a distance in linear flat earth affirming miles when you measure your height off of surface level. In the, using the radius that you didn't know, begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking earth curve mathematics. The distance to horizon is claimed to be calculated, end quote you, at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off surface level. It must be surface level for your parallel eye level in distance measured off it to be parallel with it. Or, to put it more succinctly, Earth must be flat to measure your altitude.
that horizon was 3 miles away from your perspective, from where you were standing.
So from your perspective, from where you were standing. From where you were standing, the distance is linear and flat. From where you're standing, your height, if measured, is utilising a flat earth prerequisite in the form of parallel eye level and surface level. We are only ever proving, beyond all doubt, a flat earth by axiomatic principle in every word these stuttery men are saying.
So that buoy was closer than that.
Sorry, closer in a flat earth linear distance, was it?
That's why we can see it, right?
So we can see it because we've got eyeballs. Yeah? Are you a spastic? Do you think that the reason we see things is because you've suggested that at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off of surface level, we'll have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon blocking it? No, we see it because we've got eyeballs. Kind of retard says mathematics in orthographic view dictate what we see with our eyeballs. Now our eyeballs dictate what we see.
Right?
Correct, yeah.
Sorry, what? Angels, get your ass in here so you can get told off, you stupid clown. Get your tongue out of Dave Weiss's ass. And never again will you be inferring that a distance to horizon in an earth curve maths dictates whether or not buoys are visible. We see it because it's there and we got eyeballs. Why are you agreeing with him? What an unbelievably embarrassing state of affairs, Angels.
No, well, we could see it. We could see it when I zoomed in. Yeah.
Yes, and again, human beings can only see so far. You know, if you stutter anymore, I'm gonna have you committed. You know, string a sentence together. You're looking at a car or something, and you walk on a perfectly flat plane, and you walk further and further and further away from it, that car would eventually disappear.
Really? Where's that in Earth curve maths? Because according to you, you've got a calculable, not that you know any of these variables, geometric sphere edge for a horizon at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. There's no perspective in the flat Earth prerequisite using globe Earth mathematics. There's no perspective in that. Saying that things get smaller into distance. Yeah, we know, hashtag shit shrinks. Not in your Earth curve maths, they don't. The same Earth curve maths where you've got a surface level and a linear distance.
Would kind of merge into the horizon.
Not in Earth curve maths, they don't.
It's perspective, right?
So what? Yeah, perspective is real. Yeah, we've got perspective. It's got absolutely sod all to do with your physical geometric sphere edge at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off of surface level, though. Perspective's got nothing to do with that. You don't have perspective in orthographic view.
So I guess the best way for the only way I can really analyze this is to know the distances, because if you show me something that I should not be able to see.
So according to Dave and Angels, they're suggesting that you should not be able to see it. Yeah, unsubscribe from Dave Weiss, because what's being punted in this discussion is how Earth curve will block your view, and what's being debated is whether or not it should or should not be visible based on Earth curve maths that has linear distances on a flat Earth and heights off surface level. But what we're arguing about with this man is Angels and Dave telling him whether or not we should see it on Earth curve maths' terms. Not whether or not we got a set of friggin' eyeballs.
Then that would be a point well made.
Oh, really? What about the point of a linear distance and height off surface level? Oh, of course, they didn't get mentioned by Dave or Angels. We did get told that we know the extremities of the known territories according to Angels of Light. It was pointed out by Dave. He had Angel's tongue hanging out his arse as he did so.
But right now, I don't know the distances.
I'm going to show you 2 points. Now, these are oil rigs, and we know exactly how far they are because they don't move, right? And the camera is 1 foot off the water here. Now, again, you need to verify this. I could be lying. It could be 100 feet in the air, right? So it's 1 foot off the water. This one is 6.2 miles away. Doesn't seem like far, 9.4 miles away. But according to the Earth curve calculator, this platform should be hidden by 59 feet of curvature from that elevation. Not only can we see all of the water leading up to it, we can see the horizon far behind it. Let me show you another video of this.
I completely butchered the Black Swan. Black Swan. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every distance to horizon measurement can be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, as per the begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculations that we've been talking about to date. The ones with surface level and linear distances on a flat Earth. Yet those maths allege there's a measurable distance to Earth curve. Yeah, we debunked it in 2020. Dave doesn't understand the argument, so he just balls it up completely.
So
Yeah,
this horizon...
They're staying away from measurements for some reason. Everybody should think about that.
Is far beyond the platforms.
Okay.
So right here.
So that proves what? You showing curve in a hand gesture, does it, Dave?
Video of this. So this horizon is far beyond the platforms.
Okay.
What's going on? Just unsubscribe from him. He's not our friend. Dave's not our friend. He's our enemy.
Right here, the water would need to be refracting up almost 60 feet.
See? He's now telling you about 7/6 of an Earth curve radius that he's given his opponent and what it should be doing to this image. This argument isn't being represented by Dave. It's being butchered. This is sabotage.
Out here, it has to refract up. Maybe
now he's telling you it has to refract up. It's an outrage. Unsubscribe from him. He's a shill. He's not here for our benefit. He's not a flat earther. He's saying it. Listen to the words he's saying.
It'd be hundreds of feet for us to be able to see it, but the horizon is far miles beyond the horizon.
The horizon's far miles beyond the horizon. That doesn't even make sense as a sentence, does it? Do you want this spastic representing you if you're my audience member as a flat earther? Do you want this? Is this what you want?
I want 2 horizons.
It's utterly insane that this man can even call himself a flat earther. Yeah. Outrageous. What do you want? Do you want this shit? Stuttery, stammery nonsense that makes no sense about horizons being beyond horizons.
Beyond the platform, which would be impossible on a ball.
Okay, so you're saying that the camera that took that picture was 1 foot off the water?
Correct.
So the first one was 1, this one's 8 foot, and I can actually show you the video of that confirming it, but yeah.
Oh, okay, so let's go with the 8 feet then. That's easy. These are easy calculations.
So 8 feet's height off surface level.
8 feet, and you're saying that
I'm saying that that's only measurable off a flat Earth. It's a surface level measurement with eye level parallel with it. That's game over. End of the argument. Let's see how well our alleged to be flat Earth partners in crime do.
platform is 9.4 miles away?
That's a flat Earth linear distance measurement. Let's see if Angels of Light removes his tongue from Dave Rice's ass long enough to point that out.
The one in the back on that image now is 10.1 miles away from 8 foot.
So you're not going to mention that that's a flat Earth only measurement there, Angels? Been spending too much time around Chills to not mention the flat Earth proof you just talked about. Oh, right, maybe we could get into talking about how globe Earth, the hill behind the hill that Dave just talked about was.
Okay, what's the one in the front? Because I can see that better.
About six.
Well, it doesn't matter because the horizon is far beyond the second one.
And what does that prove, Dave? The horizon's beyond the second one. I mean, that means nothing. As an isolated statement, it means absolutely nothing. What Dave said was valueless, wasn't it?
The horizon. How can we see the water beyond it?
So the question is whether or not we can see the water beyond the horizon. It's made of water, Dave. You're just making us look like spastics. That's your point of being here, isn't it, Dave? To make us look like retards.
Horizon should be in front of it.
Should it? The horizon should be in front of the boat. Should it really be, Dave? It should be. No. Dave's telling you what a globe Earth horizon should be doing and where we should be seeing it on a globe Earth based on globe Earth maths. He's a shill. He's punting the globe under the guise of being a flatty. He isn't. Again, I'm going to ask, is this abundantly obvious to everyone watching? Maybe I can appeal to my chat. So if you're watching this on a live stream, just let me know. Is it clear to you, typer number 1, if this is glaringly obvious to you, that Dave Weiss is not here to promote flat Earth when he tells you about what curve should or shouldn't be doing as he's doing right now? Type 1 if you understand that Dave's not here to support flat Earth. That's not what he's for. That's not what he's for.
Well, the horizon at that distance, at that height, so if you're 8
At that height, at that distance, both flat Earth prerequisites.
feet above, the horizon should be about 3.5 miles away.
No, in an orthographic view that ignores perspective, as you brought it up earlier, sir, it would be at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet when you measure, in reality, your height off of surface level. And then describe a linear distance to the boat on a flat Earth also.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave's just giving it to him, though. Yeah, not mentioning the flat Earth that's required, affirming that he's correct about the globe Earth maths.
There's an inconsistency there because the horizon, if that platform is, as you say, 6 miles away, then I can clear.
Yeah, they're not mentioning it, Neil. You're right. If it's 6 miles away, it's a measured distance. It's cemented into the sea floor. It ain't moving. That's why it's being used, so that tossers like you don't get away with saying if. Now, we know the distance to the oil rigs. We also know the claimed orthographic representation at 1.22 times the square root off of an observer's height in feet when utilising a surface level to measure it. Yeah, we know these maths. You don't. You didn't even know the bleeding radius.
Clearly see the horizon behind the rig. And that horizon in the background should be, like I said, 3 point...
See, notice how the globe Earth proponent's saying the same thing Dave is saying. You notice that, audience? He's a globe believer, and he's telling you the same thing Dave just told you. Where the horizon should be. according to the scripture of globe Earth, that uses flat Earth measurements that aren't getting mentioned?
3.5, let's say 3.5 miles away. But
what, after measuring your height off surface level and parallel eye level and distance in linear miles?
It's obviously
a flat Earth prerequisite in all regards. Yeah, it is, yeah. I'd be pointing that out. Angel to be pointing that out if he'd have hung around us a bit longer. Unfortunately, the allure of Dave's arse was too much.
well beyond.
Something for you to look into. Something for you to look into.
No, Dave, something that you could butcher completely and make us all look like spastics with. Yeah, something that you could just end before it begins. I mean, you butchered it completely. You didn't do a good job of explaining this argument. You didn't explain it like I explained it. That's if the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 that the guy could go and look up. Then every distance to the horizon measurement could be no more than 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off surface level. As per the begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics. I say perspective hijacking because the wanker with the grey hair thought the perspective had something to do with it when describing observer's height off surface level for alleged Earth curve maths and where they should or shouldn't be. I mean, that's all that's being discussed with an illusion of it being a physical, reifiable, physical geometric sphere edge. Like we dealt with in Housekeeping. Shocking, isn't it? We debunk the globe here and then move on instantly. Dave will go through every single flat Earth prerequisite under the sun and not mention it, and allude to how much curve should or shouldn't be there according to maths that we debunked 5 years ago.
And confirm.
Now, again, these are pictures that you're showing me, but let's just, for the sake of argument and, to have a good discussion, let's just assume all the numbers are correct.
Well, then we've proven a flat Earth. So we'll assume the distance in linear miles to the oil rigs is correct. Okay,
that is inconsistent with the Earth curve calculation.
So the Earth curve calculations require a flat Earth also. Its surface level and eye level being parallel and the distance being linear in terms of miles. So I'll take your Earth curve mathematics as read and take the victory for what it is. Because if you say I'm wrong, then you haven't got an axiomatic flat Earth surface level to measure your height off. For your Earth curve maths. Starting point for your calculation is flat Earth measurement off surface level.
But however, we have to factor in refraction. But
sorry, do we? Why? What, the 7/6 of the Earth curve radius in an orthographic view? That's not refraction.
Refraction is only about, at most, it could.
This man's just a bullshitter, isn't he? A stuttery, stammery, bullshitting. I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Yeah, perfect fodder.
Only reduce curvature probably by about 7 to 10% at most.
Sorry, just make up a number. I think this guy's bullshitting to the tune of 60 to 70% bullshit at this moment. Maybe 77% bullshit. Could be higher.
So it wouldn't.
Could I get in here about refraction? Yep. Now, refraction is the law of refraction is Snell's law, which actually requires two different isotropic mediums. Now, number one, if you're going to invoke a density gradient, crepuscular rays go through the density gradient.
A density gradient requires a horizontal surface level to describe the density gradient with respect to. If you're going to describe anything in terms of altitudes for the gradiated pressure, those gradiated pressures will be described at heights off surface level. So again, Angels of Light can't get over himself quick enough to describe how two isotropic mediums are needed for refraction to combat his 7/6 of a terrestrial radius value using refraction in his globe maths. Meanwhile, they all require descriptions off surface level for altitudes in pressure gradient. So we'll need a flat Earth for this as well. It's just not getting mentioned.
And they do not curve. Now, second of all, when we're looking horizontally over the Earth, there's no density gradient. Okay, because we're looking horizontally. The density gradient is vertical. So you can't really even invoke refraction on the Earth, to be honest.
Unless the Earth is curved.
Unless the Earth is curved, and Dave's going to drop that in pretty quickly, isn't he? I mean, obviously being the flat earther, it's good that Dave brought up that unless Earth's curving, you need to keep that in mind, and Dave's here to keep it in mind. Unsubscribe from Dave Weiss immediately if you're a flat earther. I mean, unless there's curve, and Dave will make sure to keep that alive, that idea, like he's just done. What a shill.
When you say density gradient,
No, you can't. You're right, because it would be the same density. You're right.
when you say density gradient, you mean the change of density of the air from the surface all the way up.
Sorry, from the surface what? The surface level? Up being a description that's only capable of description on a flat plane. You can't have up on a globe. There is no up. There's out from a curved surface if you reify it from Copernican mathematics. But we're not getting into that sort of advanced heliocentrism here. These guys can hardly string a fucking sentence together.
Up.
Yep.
Yeah, if we calculate how much refraction there would be from the top of Mount Everest to
Sorry, Mount Everest's top is a height off surface level. Its height, its altitude is a flat Earth prerequisite. Will angels mention it? Highly doubtful. Seems like you've been fully brought into the fold, eh, angels? Yeah? Just given up completely on flat Earth proving explanations for things, right? Just going to whistle past them like Dave does.
Hey,
sea
Nathan,
level.
Yep.
this explains why he was in here Friday when I was asking you if you were going to do a show, because Angels has something. He wanted to come in here to do damage control. So deep down inside, he knows what he did.
It's 0.0%. It's negligible.
No, refraction, you're right that refraction is not a big factor. Like I said, at most, it would probably be in the range of a few percent, maybe 7%.
Like I say, this guy's possibly 67% bullshit. Maybe 68% bullshit. I mean, he's basically making up the majority of what he says, because he hasn't done any research and doesn't know the radius. He could look it up after the fact. But in terms of how much refraction, what's refraction? How did you extrapolate out this percentage?
It wouldn't account for that much of it wouldn't cause that much more to be visible over the curve of the Earth. So I don't.
But what curve of the Earth? The curve of the Earth that's calculated in the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics at 1.22 times the square root of a flat Earth. You'll need a flat Earth for those mathematics. They're not dictating how much we see of things. Like Dave made sure to reiterate. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dave, the flat earther, was quick to reiterate how much that globe Earth will be getting in the way in terms of its refractive index, right? Yeah, Dave was keen to point that out.
I don't think refraction is a huge player. It is a minor player. We can argue, how much, but based on that rig that you showed me, something doesn't seem right there. Assuming the numbers are correct, I'm taking your word for it.
Okay, we'll assume that we've got the numbers off a flat plane in terms of height correct, and the numbers in the distance to it in linear measurement of miles or kilometers. We'll assume all of those are correct. Welcome to Flat Earth. Right, any comments before we move into the after show? Hey, Chocolate.
Good morning.
Hey, Chocolate.
What's up, brother?
The sky, with respect to a flat plane. With that, I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Programming Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow.
You could have laid down measurements right away.
I remember the first day Angels Light came in, he was spouting some of the rhetoric that he'd learned over his time researching the topic, listening to debates, and he took quite a bit of constructive criticism, and he took it very well, and he took it on board quite quickly in some regards. So yeah, it is quite disappointing to see him revert to Dave Weiss's level of argumentation.
And he knows he did wrong, because Friday, I was talking to him in Discord. He was like, is Nathan going to do a show? I did something with Dave Weiss. And I was like, what are you doing with him? I know why he came in now. He's doing damage control. He knows he did wrong.
Not that he's done wrong, it's just that Dave Weiss is a shill, and associating with shills that want to prove a globe Earth over and over again under the misapprehension of their audience that they're flat earthers isn't going to be, approved by us, is it? We're gonna get annoyed.
I'm not talking about him being with Dave. I'm talking about how he was, how he stood up himself on, not even mentioning a measurement one time.
I think maybe it's like a seniority thing. Like maybe he passed off seniority to Dave and let him take the lead. You know, it could be. So I mean, I have no freaking idea. But it sounds like something like that could have been the case because this is the Angels of Light guy that would come in here. That's what we're talking about.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let's listen to some more, Nathan. Don't stop now.
I know I'm appealing to motive here, but what I could say in his defense, that what he could say is that he didn't wish to kill it off at the head because that would end the conversation. Therefore, there wouldn't be this debate to film in the first instance. So we had to debate within his own paradigm. But even then, it's a weak argument because there are so many opportunities where if you don't want to kill it dead, you can still convey a winning argument to the audience, at least. But there was none of that.
Wait till I get into gravity. You're really going to vomit.
Nathan, are you there?
I am, but I'm just doing things temporarily. Hopefully you can keep the conversation going.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a bad performance. I'm sorry. I listened for over a half hour. I was not impressed at all. I was depressed.
Yeah, he is Australian, though.
Who, Angels?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an Aussie. I sent this video to QE. He said, "Do not send me any big bald day videos, please."
What's being an Aussie got to do with anything? Sorry.
It makes him a prick, a complete prick. Why'd you ask?
Makes him a criminal.
Doesn't mean anything. Well, I didn't actually say it. So why would you say that matters? That he's an Aussie?
Oh, who's a criminal?
Shows that he jumps like a kangaroo.
Doesn't mean anything.
Just partial to a little
You
bit.
guys
of
want to
crime
start something? I was just about ready to go to bed, but you perked me up.
What's the name of that famous Aussie that Dennis Hopper played? He was a outlaw. Anybody know that guy's name?
Simon?
Oh no, I know that voice.
Tony? Is it Ian?
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper played. He was a outlaw in Australia back. I don't know, turn of the century maybe.
I would have been Ned Kelly then.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Dennis Hopper. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Anyway, I forget the name of it. Dennis Hopper plays the villain, the guy. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Hello, everybody. Cheers. It's Guns.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hi, Neil.
Ned Kelly was Irish,
buddy.
not Australian.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I won't talk. I'm just
Ned
interfering
Kelly
with you
made the
guys.
iron suit, right?
I'm not sure. All I remember is he killed a bunch of lawmen. I know that. He was on the run for some reason. Anyway, look up the trailer for it. Dennis Hopper, he looks pretty cool in it.
Yeah, so did the kid that what's the kid that died after he was he was destroyed himself after playing in Brokeback Mountain, but he also played Ned Kelly.
Oh, Heath
iron
Ledger.
suit.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
He had an iron suit.
The Joker. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he played him too. What's the name of that movie?
Having a clue.
I can't hear. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, Aussies. Wasn't that a prison country? Like, wasn't that where all the criminals from the UK were sent back in the turn of the century, or about 1800 something?
That's what I hear. That's what they say.
That's what they say, but who knows about history, right? There's so much bullshit.
The Heath Ledger movie was actually called Ned Kelly. That's the name of the movie.
I was going to say that.
Ned Kelly. Yeah.
Australia was a colony. Australia was a colony for convicts. We had what we call free settlers. We had tenants and squatters. Tenants and squatters made up the majority of the population of convicts, which come from Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and a little bit from England.
Mostly Ireland and Scotland.
Mostly Ireland. when they served the hard title without any trouble, they were given squatter rights, which means that they could live under tenants as long as they maintained the land, and then after a period of time they would get tenant rights.
Wow, what a punishment. I wish they would have gave me that.
With Ned Kelly. So Ned Kelly's old man was come out as a convict, but it was always in strife. So they always treated the family like they were convicts. And what happened was Ned Kelly's old man died in prison. And then Ned Kelly and his brothers took after the family. And then one of the police officers sexually abused his sister. So he got in a fist fight with him and then had to go on the run. And then what they did is they made up a story about him stealing horses and rebranding them to get him on the warrant page. So when the police went after him, they had a gunfight and he shot a couple of police officers. And then the rest is history. But what he did is he went to banks and he did reverse robberies. So he'd go to banks, he'd steal everyone's mortgages and burn them. So anyone that had a mortgage with a bank ended up owning their own land because the bank couldn't prove a mortgage.
Sort of like Robin Hood. So let me get this straight. You committed a crime back then and they sent you to a beautiful island. Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, but very few from Northern Ireland, just for the record.
The movie's called Mad Dog Kelly with Dennis Hopper.
If Brian was here, he'd say, press play.
Yeah, Dennis Weiss he's cringeworthy, man. Oh, I just can't stand that shill.
Well, he's showing his true colors throughout. He can't change his spots.
He's never explained anything about flat Earth ever. Like even before, like when we thought he was legit, he would always just talk around in circles, and always like if you lived on a ball, if you know this, it's always if you lived on a ball.
Not if,
instead
when.
of yeah.
No, he said when you're standing on top of a globe.
Yeah, right, yes. Interesting. I knew he's a shill for years anyway. Anyway, whatever. Those are the guys that are influencing flat earthers, and and then also giving us a bad name with the new people that are checking, trying to investigate or whatever research, and they come across these guys, they get the wrong false information, and then they veer away from the flat Earth community or whatever. They just don't even want to become one.
Well, Dave Weiss is training flatties to say Earth curve should be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, so that they're talking about Earth curve. That's what Dave's training flatties to be. The misrepresentation of what Earth curve shouldn't do as a flatty.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's really cringeworthy though. Like it just makes it just makes me steam. All these guys that, like you said, they talk about the ball. Flatties that talk about the ball, if or when. You can tell that they're opposition. They're controlled opposition right away.
Listen, that wasn't bad in 2015, 2016, 2017.
Oh
But
yeah,
once the black
yeah,
swan came out, hold on. Once the black swan hit, once celestial navigation and earth measurements, that's it. There's no need to debunk a ball anymore when you prove earth is
yeah.
flat through measurements.
Game over. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'd argue that it was bad even back then, Neil, to be honest, because it was just a poor standard of evidence.
Right, but it's fine for debunking the globe, but that day is over. Nathan used to call it the silver bullet that he was waiting for, and that was measurements. Now that we got it, the only way to kill a werewolf is with a silver bullet.
Yeah,
Or garlic.
Which, by the way, that was a
that's a
great movie.
vampire. Wasn't that for a vampire? Garlic.
Yeah,
Let's not
Nathan
split
used to
hairs.
stay on up.
But all
Push
these
play.
flat earthers. Sorry,
It's just
like all
Neil
these
being rude.
discords. They just talk in circles. Like you said, it's like 2015 all over again with these guys.
Yeah, that's what it seems like Dave's place here. Keep the argument in 2015.
Exactly. I don't know. Why doesn't he just be like Jaron and just go to the ball? I know he's still sponging money off people. That's Dave Weiss. That's probably why. But that's probably why he hasn't gone to the ball. He's still
Well,
sponging money out of flat earthers. You know.
yeah, he wants money. What bothers me about this is this guy, he's receptive. There's a few things that he was very receptive on. And he would pick up on this the minute you laid it out for him. This guy's pretty sharp
Yeah.
in that category. And he wasn't presented with anything for him to understand how Earth is measured flat.
Yeah. Well, his whole act is he acts like a stooge. He acts like he is not very intelligent. That's his whole act.
Who?
And then it makes a mockery. So that's why a lot of people think, is this guy for real? Look at this. Listen to this dummy.
No, I'm talking about
But
the engineer.
oh, yeah. Okay. I see. Right. Yeah. Who's that? Who's the white-haired guy? I missed most of the show there. The white-haired guy. Was he a baller or a flat earther? The white-haired guy.
Well, he's a baller. He's an engineer
Yeah, because I
guy.
didn't. Yeah, I wasn't really watching the show. Just looking at watching bits and pieces. But yeah, so yeah, the engineer. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so he's the baller. And who was the other guy? That was the dark-haired guy. Who was that? Not Dave,
That's
but the other
Angels
guy.
of Light. He used to come here, Angels of Light. But later on, he
Oh,
talks about how you could do a perfect experiment, right? To prove
okay.
one way or the other. And then he goes into measurements, how you could measure.
Yeah, that's
Experiment to prove
Nathan's been
to
doing
prove what?
measurement for a couple of years now. Like the reality of that, the flat plane, whatever you call it, the elevation angles
It's
and
in a
Polaris and all that.
category error.
Yeah, category error. Yeah, exactly. And 10th Man, he straightened out everybody to do with navigation. That's a couple of years ago already, 3 years ago maybe. And then who's that guy with the beard? They're talking about airplanes and stuff. Like going around a ball and this and that. Like I just makes you cringe. How stupid these guys sound when they're talking about flying around a ball and stuff. It's just like enough to. I don't know. It's insane. If you lived on a ball, the flat earther.
Push play.
Come again, Neil? I didn't catch that.
I'm telling Nathan to push play unless he's getting coffee or making a thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the video, the Weiss video. I can't see what's going on. I just have the icons in Discord. I still don't know how to do that when I'm in Discord to watch YouTube. I guess you have to be on YouTube, but the show's over on YouTube. It's this is the after show. That'll be on YouTube eventually. Just getting
Dave Weiss is not dumb. He's a salesman. He sees his market as this stupid reformist globers coming into flat Earth, and he markets himself to that. He doesn't step too far to the right, which is empirical thinking and complex arguments, and he doesn't step too far to the left. He stays right in the middle, and he caters for his market.
Hold on,
and he bought a
Guns.
boat.
You can't agree along because it's audio chaos. Let the guy finish and then say yes, you're correct.
Yes.
I'm worse than you, Neil. I'm worse than you. You get told off every show. True?
I don't do that.
You interrupt every show. You always have to be told to.
I interrupt to get in, but I don't interrupt with that's right, yes, correct.
Okay, yeah, okay.
This is hilarious.
I'm sorry, Neil. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm new at this. Okay, give me a break. I'm used to catching bad guys.
Yeah, correct. Yep. I see.
Yeah.
Why is it with you two? It's just a clash of personalities. Is that what it is?
I was trying to listen to what the other gentleman was saying, and I kept hearing, yeah.
It's an American thing, Nathan, and I don't think we'll ever understand.
The other gentleman is Jardot. That's the other gentleman.
On second thought, go ahead, Guns, go away, roll away.
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on.
What's going on is you're not hitting play, so we can continue on with this travesty.
I can tell you more about Ned Kelly if you want.
That'd be great.
Absolutely. My phone keeps shutting off.
Oh, there is a heaven and there is prayer answered.
But Neil, if Nathan presses play, then you can't play Fortnite.
That's what it is, right? I knew it, Liam. I freaking knew it. Here I thought he was doing something constructive, like making a thumbnail or preparing something else. No, playing Fortnite. Or he might be doing something with microphones, and he gets a pass because he is trying to keep the mortgage paid.
Nathan, can I ask you a question about microphones, if you don't mind?
No, I've got no.
God. Oh, dear. Here we go.
Well, I'll answer that by saying I am no microphone expert, right? So you can ask me, but that doesn't mean I'll know the answer.
If you recommend a microphone that Brian can use, so I can understand what the F he's talking about, can I purchase one off you so you can give it to him?
There's no microphone that can make Brian understandable.
It's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Babelfish microphone. You'd need that.
Wait, what the hell is going on in here? I thought this was a bank holiday.
It is a bank holiday.
I'm clearing out the garage. Last.
Is the pharmacy not open on a bank holiday? Is the pharmacy not open?
No, it's bank holiday, mate.
Only the back. Only the back door of the pharmacy.
For dummies. Understanding Irish for dummies. That's what you need.
What the hell are you talking about? We're talking about bank holidays. How'd that work up?
Is it a holiday there? No. We're in Canada. We just had Victoria Day last Monday.
Canada stand.
Hit play.
What the hell are we doing out here?
Hey, QE, is there a holiday there today in the States?
Fucking Memorial Day.
It is. That's right. Okay. I remember that now. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know all the American holidays. But yeah, I've heard of that one.
OMG, dude.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, we had
Double
Victoria Day, Queen Victoria, on Monday, last Monday.
Running today or what?
Press play. Press play.
Press play on what? What the hell you doing?
We're going over to David Weiss, Angels of Light, talking about the ball. Wait till they get into science.
That video you sent to me, don't you ever send me another Big Globe Dave video. Don't do that.
Did you at least view it?
No.
Well, Nathan's going over it, and you should have viewed it.
What about a signed T-shirt?
A signed T-shirt from Big Globe Dave. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and his companion. How's Angels of Light?
Is that his companion now?
Yeah, he's got his tongue up his ass.
What's Dave doing out here? He respawned after his train wreck freaking app went in the dust. What the hell is he doing here?
You're not going to be happy because he butchered the Black Swan. Butchered it.
Well, he's a dumbass cracker. They don't know what the Black Swan is. They never did. He's like a baller.
Dave's still getting paid by the government. You got to remember that. One way or the other. You know that.
No. What are you talking about?
I cannot confirm or deny.
It's a chill. I can confirm. Like I have
can you?
Have you got the receipt?
He's a shill. Being paid.
Got the receipts.
Are you the government paying him?
His whole spiel is, this app and this and that. That was all part of their strategy. Like, come on, you guys.
Slip of the lip. You said, I know he's getting paid. How do you know he's getting paid?
I do. Okay, remember, I worked for the government for 37 years. I know a lot of people, and I find out the system, how they work, this and that. I'm not supposed to be mouthing a bunch of stuff, but, he's a shill. It's like, and that's part of his spiel. He's getting paid. This app was all part of the spiel to confuse people.
No
right
way.
From day one. Yeah.
No.
The whole spiel, that's his whole act. And he's getting paid for it. Plus, he got paid for the app or whatever. How many people?
The
like,
mystery for everyone. Thanks.
What?
My eyes were closed until you opened them.
Oh my God.
Lowest form of wit.
Anywho, press play. Press play.
Hey, I like the new style you have here where you don't have to wait until you approve to get let in. That's nice, man.
Oh yeah. I got approved a couple of years ago and I never used Discord.
Shut up.
You don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Nathan.
Oh
So
my
what
God.
do you got to say
You
about
guys,
that? Is that some...
You don't have a clue. Seriously.
All right, Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that? Did you program that in that we could just come in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's mighty white of you.
You like that?
Shout out to Chocolate.
Actually, Refracted set it up and told him how to do it.
We have clearance.
we have clearance.
Even though Refractor's no longer a special boy, now Adam is.
Is Adam Nathan's special boy now?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Parents.
Come on, Adam, take a bow.
He can't. He's on a bank holiday. All right. Is that it? What are we doing? Why am I sitting here looking at a globe inside a globe? What the fuck is going on here?
Nathan will not hit play.
Is what we pay our membership for.
and then he'll say, well, nobody's talking, so it's a good time to round out.
Hey, but when you round out, just stick around. We have another, I call it an issue. That I want to bring up to the panel. You hear me, Nathan? Hello, Mr. Bank Holiday.
Oh, he definitely stepped away.
Big jerk.
He's a big jerk, isn't he?
He is. Well, I got to go get breakfast. You tell that glue sniffer to stick around after he closes out.
Will do.
But we'll listen for Victory Royale.
Oh, dear. Liam, you're the one that suggested this video, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I really never listened to them, but yesterday I'm waiting for the Nick game to come on. So I said, let me just have a listen. I was like, oh my God, we have to go over this. 30 minutes in, not one measurement.
Maybe he's just saving for the grand finale. You never know.
I was thinking that, Chocolate. I was going to say, if I got to hear from somebody that wait till the end of the video they talk about it, that would fit perfectly because that's what they do. Lay it out first. Hammer it in first, then talk about all the other stuff you want to talk about that debunks the globe if you want to. As long as you concisely lay it out, how Earth is measured flat, how that's the proof. We have this proof now. Nope. By the way, the Knicks won last night, saved their season. Thank God. They were down by 20. Was that Guns just interrupting me?
Right, I'm going to round out. With that, another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, with my camera in the wrong position. I'll see you all in the next video.